two priests of the Lord's church who worshiped the Lord in a way that they really weren't supposed to. And the priests' names were Nadab and Abihu. And this is the story of it. It's pretty short. It says, "Then Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, each took his censer and put fire in it, put incense on it, and offered profane fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. So fire went out from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. And Moses said to Aaron, 'This is what the Lord spoke, saying, By those who come near me I must be regarded as holy, and before all the people I must be glorified.'" So what happened in that story is these two priests, Nadab and Abihu, each bring a censer, which is sort of like this. It's just a bowl, a metal bowl on chains. And what you would do is you would put fire in the censer. Usually it would be hot coals. And then you would put incense on top of that to burn it. And who knows what happens when you burn incense? Somebody know? Tell me what happens when you burn incense? Gentleman right here. Smells beautiful. You get beautiful smelling smoke when you burn incense. And that was something people would do to worship the Lord. They would take that beautiful smelling smoke in their censers up to the Lord's altar as a way of worshiping. But the fire that they used in their censer was the issue here, because the Lord had commanded the priests that they were supposed to take that fire from the Lord's altar. So that would be like taking the fire from those candles that are burning up there and using it to light the incense. But Nadab and Abihu had their own fire. They probably said, it's too much work to go and get that fire. I'll get my own way to light the incense. They probably didn't have one of these. Use something else, but they lit that fire themselves. And then when they brought that profane fire, profane means dirty, brought that dirty fire up to the altar, the fire from the altar came out and it devoured them, it says. Now, would the Lord really get that angry at us just because we used this kind of fire instead of that kind of fire? Of course not. The Lord doesn't actually care about where our fire comes from. So what's the story really talking about? Why was what Nadab and Abihu did something they shouldn't have done? Does anybody know what fire is a symbol for? What is fire a symbol for? Can somebody tell me?
The love of God.
You say, what was that?
The love of God.
Love of the Lord, thank you, yes. Really, any kind of love is represented by fire, because fire, love, is the spiritual fire inside of us that makes us feel alive and makes our bodies warm. And the fire that comes from the altar, that represents the love of God. It represents the Lord's love that He gives us. And that's the love that's supposed to be in our hearts, and that's the love that we're supposed to use when we worship Him. The Lord's love. The profane fire that Nadab and Abihu brought, that represents fire that I get from me. Love that I get from me. Now we might say, what's so wrong with having my own love? Aren't I supposed to have my own love? Can't I worship the Lord with my own love? But the thing is, the truth is, every single good love, every love that's really tender, that's really compassionate, that really cares about other people, comes only from the Lord. And we have to go to the Lord to get that love from Him. We have to let that love be what we use to worship the Lord. And so when we say, I don't feel like getting the Lord's love, I want my own love, we're saying, I don't care about what the Lord gives me. I want my own stuff. I want to do things my way. I don't feel like going and getting that fire from up there. I want to do what's easy. I want what I want. And when we worship the Lord that way, with that selfishness burning inside us, and we try to go close to the Lord's goodness in heaven, it's like it's too hot for us and we can't stand it. And there are stories in Swedenborg's writings of people who have that selfish fire burning, that selfish love, and they try to go into heaven. And it's like they have the sun shining on them and it's way too bright. They just can't handle it. And that's like the fire coming out from the altar to devour them. And so those people run away to some place where the love is more like the kind of love that they want. But if we let the Lord's love into our hearts, if we take that love from the Lord, and then we go to worship Him, do we get burned? Of course not. When we have the Lord's love with us and we go to the Lord, then His love shines out around us like light and the fire from the sun that makes the whole world warm, makes the whole day bright. So where do you want to get your fire from? Do you want to just do the thing that's right in front of you, the easy thing, the fire that comes from me? Or are you willing to say, I want the love that I feel to come from the Lord? Amen. Let us pray.